we go. Sorry, guys. My camera, well, my phone, and the live streams is being a little bit of an ass. So I have to like work with it a little bit. Woohoo! It worked today. Alrighty. So, first off, I'm going to give my apologies for a very, very chaotic Sunday night reading. And as many of us know, it is Mercury retrograde officially today, and that's why you're all here. But prior to Mercury actually going into retrograde, like prior to today, you'll have what is called the pre-shadow phase, which can almost be as strong as the moment it does go into retrograde. So leading up into it can be a little bit foggy, a little bit chaotic. It's kind of like the low rumble roar of before it comes in, kind of like, the stampede. You hear the rumble before they show up. It's kind of like that. So it explains why in the last week or so I had been stuttering a little bit more. I had a hard time with my words, and these are all tried and true symptoms of Mercury retrograde, as you can see right there. You can have displaced thoughts. Sometimes your wording doesn't come out correctly. Sometimes people take your wording wrong. It can be quite the mess, especially if your planetary housing lines up a specific way in your natal chart that is like, it's your turn, you're up to have a crazy Mercury retrograde or whatever planetary retrograde. So it's no wonder that Sunday night my wording was just kind of chaotic and all over the place. I had a lot going on other than that. Trust me, I had a best friend tragically pass away, and he was a childhood best friend. We hadn't really been in touch in the last couple of years because there was some stuff going on, but to hear about his passing it took me back. And I heard about that a couple days prior to, and I I grieve a little bit different than most people, and sometimes I do cry, sometimes it's a very traditional grief, and then sometimes it is where I kind of feel like I'm jaded and I'm outside of myself, and that's how I've been on this time. So it's not, I'm still functional and everything, it's just, it's been a little bit crazy. And that was going on, and I hadn't been getting a lot of sleep and stuff like that. So there was just all the makings for a chaotic reading. But I still wanted to deliver on time to you guys, and I felt that I was going to be okay. But as soon as I turned on that camera, it was like, I can't even explain it. It was just totally not me. And that happens sometimes, but we go with it, right? We are who we are, and our flows are the way they are. So, um, I noticed you guys are staring at some crystals versus tarot cards. See these little crystals right here? These are part of the crystals that I use during Mercury retrograde. A lot of people actually use these during Mercury retrograde. And then I've got some honorable mentions too. So first of all, what exactly is a retrograde? Well, simply, it's an optical illusion from our focal point on Earth. All planets seemingly go retrograde at some point. It's just that Mercury's orbit is the fastest, so it lasts the least amount of time, usually about 30 days or so. It makes it feel more intense because of it being faster. It's the same effect as when you're like on a train and you can see like one car moving and you kind of think you're moving, that kind of weird optical illusion of like who's going forward, who's going backwards. It also happens in cars too, where somebody starts moving and you think you're going backwards or forwards. It's like that. That's what retrogrades are. And it can overtake you. Like it can create this like dystopian like type of sensation of like, where am I? And you can almost get dizzy and stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but I have, when I've sat in a car and one's going backwards and I think I'm going backwards. Um, so it can be in that apparent retrograde motion. We all know that planets literally don't stop their rotation and go in reverse, right? But that is what we are, the illusion is presented. So we call that retrograde. The Mercury retrograde period, like I said, it usually lasts between 3 to 4 weeks, and it happens anywhere between 3 and 4 times a year. There is the shadow period, like I talked about. We call that retro shade. And that's about 1 to 2 weeks. It starts about 2 weeks. It gets more, it just gradually intensifies. So people notice it at about the week before mark. And when Mercury goes stationary or direct again, there is what we call like the waking up from a nap or the waking period or post shadow period. And people tend to pay a lot more attention to things as they're coming out of retrograde. And they are, the sensations of retrograde are kind of felt most strongly coming out of it too. So Mercury retrograde inhibits certain characteristics in our waking world, like travel, communication, things like that, because Mercury is said to rule all types of communication and travel. So verbal, written words, contracts, homework, leases, will and testaments, modes of transportation, travel schedules, all those things can be impacted during Mercury retrograde. I don't want to get too heavily into this because I am planning on making a video all about Mercury retrograde, and I kind of want to reserve a little bit of that for it, or a lot of that for it. So the reason you're staring at a bunch of crystals right here is because a lot of people tend to use crystals and things like that to kind of help them through Mercury retrograde or any retrogrades that are going to impact them in substantial ways. So if you could only afford one crystal or mineral or anything like that, um, which one would it be to help you through Mercury retrograde? For most people, and myself included, it is going to be the Labradorite. Labradorite has that beautiful reflect, and hopefully I am capturing that. You see that little rainbow reflect? A lot of people love using Labradorite during Mercury retrograde. And why is that? Because it helps you understand and discover the underlying lessons that Mercury retrograde brings up. So it promotes emotional stability and grounding effects. So it helps you through things, and it's a pretty strong crystal or mineral, whatever you would care to call it or refer to it as. It's good for any other time of the year as well, not just Mercury retrograde. This is considered a palm stone. I do have various points of Labradorite. I'm most people already know I'm a big old crystal collector. I also sell crystals, things like that. But see, ooh, look at the fire in that one. Look at how that's a badass bitch. So, Labradorite, that would be my most important one. Or at least if I had to go in a systematic of rating highest to lowest, this would be one of the highest ones. The next is black tourmaline. Now, I love black tourmaline naturally. And the reason why is because I fully credit a palm stone that I had during my divorce. It literally kept me grounded. Where I would have normally been just an absolute wreck, I wasn't so much. I mean, I still had a lot of heavy emotions, but it really helped me through them. And then it broke. So I knew that my time with it was done, and I had a really hard time letting that stone go. And I did return it to the earth because it helped me. But black tourmaline is one of the amazing crystals you can get, mineral, whatever you want to call it. I just refer to them as stones, to be honest with you. But this one is amazing. I know a lot of people really love black onyx, and I do too. Black onyx has its place, but in this regard, the tourmaline is what helps really, really well. Next would be hematite. This is let me explain why. Tourmaline, I had a brain fart moment, I'm sorry. Black tourmaline deals with like the root chakra, and it assists in letting go of things. So when Mercury retrograde brings up past situations for you to deal with, it helps you let go of the things that are not in proper placement for you any longer. And it helps you with that fear factor of letting go. It helps with chaotic energy, big time retrograde, and it helps with anxiety really, really well, which is why it helped me through my divorce so well. So back onto hematite. It's very powerful in grounding and pulls negativity straight out of the body. So hematite's a good one because it's going to remove things from you that are coming to you or from you. I take that back, specifically from you. So anything that is really dug deep into you, past residual negative energy, the hematite's going to help. Now, a lot of people during retrograde tend to take pieces of hematite two specifically, and they'll place one in each one of their like each side of their hips and their pockets to help balance them. And it's said to promote with that. So that might be something that works for you, but I'll explain how I utilize crystals during this time and the way that they help me. The next is Amazonite. This offers a calming and soothing energy, which is like especially beneficial during the times of high stress and anxiety. So that promotion kind of helps you get through things. Um, Thank you. I actually have my mic hooked up today because the neighbors were doing some yard care, and I was like, "There's no way that I cannot have my microphone hooked up." So I took some time for you guys today. But this, during Mercury retrograde, we can be very anxious. And we have crystals here that totally help with that. And as they collate together, it intensifies that protective energy, that calming energy. So this with the Tourmaline is kind of like, Fort Knox security over anxiety, right? So next would be the Lapis Lazuli. And this supports authentic and honest communication when you're reconnecting with your inner wisdom. So sometimes communication doesn't have to be with another person during Mercury retrograde. It can be your inner communication with yourself. Are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest with yourself in situations? Are you being jaded? This will wake things up. It also helps with communication between people. So, but it also promotes, like I said, that inner wisdom cycle. And that is something that during Mercury retrograde, we need to be very open and perceptive to. The next on my list of my tried and trues is fluorite. And this is a fluorite point. Now, if you're going to be wearing your crystals, I don't recommend, and when I say wearing crystals, if you're a woman, sometimes we place these in little baggies or we place them in our bra. And so on these ones, I don't necessarily recommend putting them in like your bra or anything because there is that point. I know some people put clay and things like that on there, but there's better ways. There's other cuts of this stone, but I happen to enjoy points very much so. And fluorite is an amazing crystal for helping with emitting peace and harmony and to release stress and anxiety once more. Like I said, we have a powerhouse of things that are going to help you with that stress environment during this time. So this is just a smaller piece of fluorite, and I'll explain once again how I utilize these. Next is it's the tried and true clear quartz. And with clear quartz, that just helps to bring clarity and focus with very, very trusting, pure vibrations. Now, this quartz just kind of intensifies anything that you pair it with, too. So this is a magnifier as well. And this helps remove any blockages in your past. So if there's something that you really need to face and you've kind of been blocking it off, the clear quartz is going to help you with that. And the last but certainly not least that I have for you is the shungite. Now, shungite helps minimize EMFs and harmful effects of tech devices. So and the reason this is placed here is because during this time, during Mercury retrograde, it can mess with things like communication on phones, and it can mess with communication on your computers and other devices. And the shungite will help in correlation with the rest of these in tandem to kind of keep that to a minimum. So that's why I have this collection here. My honorable mentions though, like if you're a business person, this is my awesome polished citrine. This was given to me, so I kind of cherish it, even though it doesn't have a ton of the yellowing in it that most people would assume from citrine. Now, don't be confused by fake citrine. This is a not real citrine. This is a lab-grown treated citrine. So it's not going to have the properties that you want from it. And you can tell that it's not real because it's got this like almost pea-colored yellow to it. Now citrine will have yellow to it, but it's not going to be this like neon-y color. The reason I keep this is to show people fake versus real. Because if you go to Amazon and you go to even some Etsy stores and things like that, they are going to sell you lab-grown crystals and they're going to say they're real because technically, in the all intents and purposes of the idea, they're real because they're grown, but they're not pulled from the ground. They're not pulled from a natural growing source. It's grown in a lab, or they're color treated to look like this. This is actually yellow treated clear quartz. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if you like yellow clear quartz. But if you're looking for an honest to goodness piece of citrine, which come in varying colors, they're very expensive. And that's why people fake them. So please, please, please be careful. So this is one of I like to work with my palms and hold things when I'm going through stuff. So I like palm stones and things like that. And this is polished and tumbled. But citrine is great for business. So if you're a business worker in any means, I mean, even a content creator, because being a content creator is a business too in and of itself. So the citrine helps promote, prosperity and business and stuff like that. So in correlation with these will help protect you during, hey, I've got this intense board meeting coming up. I've got this acquisition going on. You want to keep your business protected during Mercury retrograde as well. And adding some citrine to the mix can help with that. Another honorable mention is, and this one's in a lot of people's, first aid kit for Mercury retrograde, is tiger's eye. And because of its grounding and protective energies as well. So, and some people even add in some rose quartz. So we have rose quartz on the board here. Basically, whatever crystals, stones, gem, minerals resonate with you that keep you protected, grounded, and open to the enlightenment of Mercury retrograde are going to be a benefit to you. How I like to wear my crystals is I go and I get these little sachets. They come in a pack. You can get them at like Walmart and hobby stores and stuff like that. I like the ones that are the netted versus ones like this, because when I place them in the little sachet like this, oops, and see, this is why I have the tiny piece of fluorite, because smaller crystals work well in here, small. And I do have smaller pieces of Labradorite, shungite, and Lapis Lazuli. They're just put away right now, so I have these to show you. And you can take these and place them in a purse, place them in your pocketbook, place them in your pockets. If you're a woman, these fit easier into your bra than just having, loose crystals, and easier. It makes it harder to lose them because I know a lot of people, a lot of women that wear them and they're like, I just shove them in my bra. But at the end of the night, if you're tired and you take that off, these just kind of fall to the floor and they can break. We don't want that. So these little sachets help. But I like the netted because it allows for direct contact with the skin versus something like this, which kind of creates a little bit more of a barrier. So that's my Mercury retrograde, like, safety kit is what we'll call it. And I just wanted to kind of put that out there. I will do a little bit more of an in-depth video. Like I said, I don't know if it'll be out today because I have a lot on my plate today. But the other thing I did want to mention is when we have crystals that are being used during heightened chaotic periods of time where we need a lot more protection, we also need to keep our crystals clean. So please, please, please be careful about your crystal care. Please look up the proper way to care for your crystals. Some do well in salt, some do not. Some do well in water, some are not water soluble. It, like selenite, if you place selenite in water, it will dissolve. It will literally dissolve into the water, like almost like how salt does. So one of the tried and true methods, speaking of selenite, that I like to use is my selenite bowl. Now, most people tell you that's not selenite. This is actual real selenite. This, that little milky cat's eye stuff that everybody has? You've seen it. You've seen it at the crystal stores, right? This stuff. This is satin spar. You join a crystal group on any social media and you start running around calling this selenite, genuine selenite, you might have a bunch of people come at you, okay? Because they will tell you that's not real selenite, satin spar. It's all gypsum. It's all part of the same family along with desert rose. But real satin spar is clear. It has windows. This piece I forged myself. And then I had it, I buffed the edges. There's still some sharpness to it. But I had to remove the center. I chiseled this and then I had it buffed so that I could use this as a bowl to cleanse crystals. So a good rule of thumb is you wear them all day long, clean them at night. You take a shower every day. Your crystals should probably have a good release of energy as well. So that way they're purified and ready to go for tomorrow. But some people, we forget we don't have time. I would suggest bare bones minimum once a week. But if not, it when you can. And if you notice that things are hitting you a little bit harder, maybe your crystals need a good charging, place them out in the moonlight, place them out in the sunlight. Please make sure you pay attention to which ones are okay in sunlight. Most of them will be fine in the moonlight, but you want to make sure that sunlight wise, you don't have anything like fluorites can bleach. Clear quartz, that's usually fine. Rose quartz will bleach in the sun. Things like that. Certain citrine will bleach in the sun. So you just want to be very, very careful in your crystal care. Another good thing is with shungite, this is something that's very good to place in water. Go get you raw shungite. Polished shungite won't emit the same levels with you, but place that in water, in a jar of water, let it sit overnight, and it does totally help detoxify the body. Now, if you're into crystal water, please be careful with the types of crystals you are placing in your water. Not all of them are safe for water, and especially if you're buying crystals off of Amazon, because like I said, those can be fake, and when they're faked, they're not their true form, and if you're putting that in water, you might get a surprise. But also, please pay attention to the mineral source in your natural water in your area. Because if mineral composites are high, specific ones are higher, and they're still within legal range, and you're adding additional minerals and stuff like that to it, you can get crystal sick. A way to keep that from happening is to buy the bottles that have the cylinder inside that you can unscrew the bottom, add the crystals to it, and then screw it back in, and it's this glass cylinder inside, so your crystals never actually touch the water. They just charge through it, and you can place that outside, let the moon hit it, things like that. That's a safe, amazing practice to get the remedy of the crystal without possible contaminations of any sort. So there's wonderful methods to keeping yourself grounded and cleansed and everything during heightened times of chaos like Mercury retrograde. But just please make sure that you are checking with the safety of each thing, okay? Because there's a lot of people that give information out there, and not all of it is accurate, and not all of it will qualify. So I've had it where I accidentally had one too many of a certain mineral in my home state water, my home area water, and there was a high amount of a specific mineral in that water that had a reaction with that crystal, which caused me an issue. So even though normally that crystal would have been totally fine in water, it was just, a freak accident, but it happened. And you have to kind of be careful. So there's a lot of knowledge that goes into it just for safety's sake, especially if you're giving it to a small child or anything like that. Alrighty. So we didn't show up for a whole lot of crystal information. We showed up for a reading, right? Right? Okay. So the way we're going to structure the reading today is we're going to pull 4 cards, and then we're going to close it with a oracle card. We're going to be using the Fortune Cookie Oracle. I know you guys loved that before, so we're going to be using that this time. We're going to be pulling, like I said, 4 tarot cards. The first one is going to be what we're going to be anticipating energetically during this Mercury retrograde for your sign. The second card we're going to draw is the main obstacle that you're going to be facing. The third one is going to be the best advice. And fourth is what we should be achieving coming out of this Mercury retrograde cycle. Alrighty, so without further ado, let us get started with the sign of Aries. Hopefully everybody is having an amazing day today. Like I said, I've got a lot going on. I've got to go work. I've got to go do a bunch of stuff, but I've already had dinner in the crock pot. I've already taken care of a bunch of cleaning things today, and I wanted to get this reading out of the way because I do have a panel tonight with the amazing Bat Rican. And so if you want to check that out, go to his channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and you will be seeing me and Exploring with Fluffy on there this evening. And not quite sure what he has for the topic, but we'll find out, right? All right, one more shuffle. And I think we're good. Let's get on the board with Aries. So what to anticipate energetically, Aries, for this Mercury retrograde? All right. Ace of Swords. All right. What's your main obstacle, Aries, that you will be facing? All righty. This is really good so far. I'm going to move that out of the way. Need a little bit more room. All right. And the best advice for you, Aries? Best advice for Aries. Whoop. Okay. And what should you be achieving? Ooh, that's quick. That one like flew out. It knew what it was doing. All right. Okay. So Aries, what you're going to anticipate going into this Mercury retrograde cycle, Ace of Swords in reverse, deceit. So with this deceit, either you're going to be dealing with somebody who's been bearing false tongue with you, or maybe something that you've been falsifying. And it's going to test your patience with this Temperance card, but it's going to teach you some patience as well, but there will be a test in it. And what advice does it give you? The Three of Wands in the reverse, where normally you're looking towards the future of something, possibly to move forward into the future with something, it's putting the brakes on you and going, no, 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 no. You're not going to be going forward with this endeavor until you handle this business, until you handle whatever deceit happened, whatever false tongue happened, whatever you lied about, somebody else lied about, and you're going to have to deal with it. It's going to give you the patience. The patience is there, but you're not going to be able to go forward. And it's going to keep telling you. That's why this keeps popping up for you. This isn't a one-time shebang. This has popped up before, but it's coming back. You got to deal with it. In order to move forward, you got to deal with the past. So that's what it's telling you right here. And what should you achieve coming out of this Mercury retrograde cycle? You have the Four of Cups in the reverse. So right here, it's telling you not to focus on necessarily what's in front of you, but also what is coming towards you. Like, as you can see here in this card, he's sitting there with his arms folded, kind of discontent, just looking at, the Three Cups that he's got. And this has to do with emotions. So he's not paying attention to the opportunity that's behind him. So now, what should you achieve coming out of it is to actually recognize the opportunities when they present themselves. Recognize the things that are being given to you, that are presenting themselves to you. All right. So let's go. That's a pretty good reading. So let's go ahead and get your fortune cookie to see how we can maybe blend this all together. I'm going to give it just a quick shuffle right there. And then we're going to go ahead and see what fortune cookie comes out for you for this Mercury retrograde. Alrighty. And you have the luck card. A sudden change of luck is likely. Things are working in your favor. Excellent time for networking. Alrighty. So figure out how that how that is relevant to you. Gotta love Mercury retrograde, right? Ties the tongue all up and makes you say weird words that don't exist. Relevate. Alrighty. So moving along to our awesome Taurus gang. Let's see what messages we got coming at you during this Mercury retrograde. Yes, I'm going to twist my words. I'm going to stutter, but we're just going to work with it. All right, guys? It's going to happen. So we got 4 more weeks of this business. And then, yeah. But after about 4 weeks from now, there is going to be a period where I have to take a break from readings, especially possibly that Sunday. I don't know yet. We'll find out how tired I am that Sunday because I'm going to be making a cross-country trek to North Carolina, and it's going to be going on that weekend, about 4 weeks from now, right towards the end of Mercury retrograde. How awesome is that? Especially when they say to be careful about traveling, right? And yeah, I'm going to be in a car, so I don't think I'm going to be able to provide a reading, but I can possibly do a pre-recording. We'll kind of see how that goes. I don't want to have you guys miss out on the opportunity to get your readings in. All right, Taurus, let's see what we can anticipate energetically wise. All right. Main obstacles on the board. Best advice. Best advice. Let's see what we got here. Come on. Come on, Taurus. Let's get your advice on the board for Mercury Retrograde. Here we go. It comes right out. All right. And what should we achieve, Taurus, coming out of this retrograde cycle? What should be achieved by us? And that one flew right up in the air. Here we go. All right. So let's get this going, and then we'll pull our fortune cookie. So, what to anticipate energetically coming in? There's going to be some communication coming your way. Somebody likely from the past, all right? Somebody that stalled out on you before that should have come forward into fruition for you. Things should have worked out differently, and it didn't, okay? So, they're going to make their little... This is going to be a weird energy. This could be a past lover. This could be an old friend. This is going to be somebody that's going to come forward, and they're going to try to weasel their way back in. Let's just say it like that. All right. They're not being truthful. You got this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. You got the Page of Cups in the reverse. They're not going to be completely honest with their side of things. All right. So the best advice is with this Page of Cups is don't get emotionally invested in it. And that is what you're going to be learning, because this Hermit card is talking about wisdom, seeing things for what they truly are. All right. So that's kind of what this whole Mercury retrograde is going to be about for you, is old communication coming in from old sourcing that probably wasn't very authentic or genuine to begin with. And it wants you to know that it is totally okay with you reserving your emotions about it, with you being like, yeah, I'm not interested. I might have been interested before, but you kind of blew that off. And I'm a little bit wiser for the wear now. And that's what it wants you to have coming out of this, is that wisdom to know the difference. So let's go ahead and pull your fortune cookie. And I see that my cookie's in the chat. Hello, my cookie boo. And you've got haha wisdom. Coincides with this, right? Focus on the past. To focus on the past is to lose the future. Heed advice from an older person, like the Hermit, which will allow you to move on. So here we go. We're going to say that the wisdom might come from somebody older and wiser than you, but it definitely wants you to learn the wisdom. That is perfect, and it definitely coincides with what your entire reading is about. So that is a cool reading that you can't make up. You can't pull from two different decks and have the same meaning without it being directly necessitating for you. All right, next we have Gemini. Gemini, what have we got going on for this Mercury retrograde cycle? What's coming at you? And what do you need to learn from that? All righty. Jump old cards. I'm still breaking in this deck, you guys. I like it a lot, but it's still just not, it's very stiff still. It has stiffies. Big stiffy deck. Yeah, a little Freudian slip right there. All right, and let's get one more in there for the Geminis. All right, so what to anticipate energetically wise? Let that one fall. All right, which is the Hermit in reverse. Your main obstacle. Main obstacle this Mercury retrograde. All right, past cycles. Okay, best advice. The board's looking good there, Gemini. Now, what should you achieve coming out of this? What should you achieve coming out of this? Alrighty, let's see what we got here for you. Okay. So what it seems like, what you can anticipate energetically wise, is you're going to be coming out of your shell a little bit. You're going to come out of your comfort zone because something is going to be presenting itself to you. You know, there's some pretty good energy coming towards you, Gemini. Now, I know this Mercury retrograde is going to be hitting Gemini, Virgo, Taurus, and Pisces pretty good. Now, when I say hits you, it doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. It just means there is some very prominent energy coming your way. And it doesn't have to be bad. Just because Mercury retrograde is typically chaotic could mean that there is definitely a good lesson or something that you're going to be facing that is actually going to catapult you as well. Just because it's making you take a few steps back doesn't mean it's not going to catapult you 100 steps forward. So this is a good time for those signs to kind of check where your planetaries are in your houses on your natal chart. But back to the reading. So you've got some fortune coming, some good karma is showing up. This could be business wise. And the best advice is for you to make that judgment call. So something that you have been putting off judgment wise, maybe you were like, maybe I don't have enough of information and you were kind of stagnant with it. Now is the time. Now is the time. But what you should achieve is not worrying about it. All right. Don't worry about, is this the right decision? Is this the decision you do fall on? Don't be worrying about like, oh my God, is this, because this is being, proud of yourself, with you're proud of your work, but you're flipped upside down here. So maybe you're not so proud of your work, but maybe this is the time for you to take a relaxation. All right. Maybe this is the time for you to kind of take a step back and reevaluate your perception of the situation. Okay. So it's interesting. You got some interesting messages on this board, and one of the big things, Gemini, that, with this Mercury retrograde being something that really affects your sign, is this is going to be an interpersonal battle right here, is from what I'm gathering. And this is really about your self dedication, your self reflection on a decision you needed to make before and you didn't, but you need to make it now. Alrighty. Challenges. Take time out from problems or conflicts, or approach softly to avoid making matters worse. All right. So remember when I said you need to take some time out? All right. Once you've made the decision, let it be. Let it, just send it out into the universe. Let it go. Don't sit there and try to fix, try to overthink, try to parachute this. Make the decision and let it happen. All right. I know that there's some anxiety about it. There is clearly going to be some anxiety about it. Get you some crystals and chill out. Have a Coke and a smile. All right. But you need to let things be what they are. Stop trying to control every aspect of your decision making. Once you make a decision, let that decision be what it is. All righty. All right, Gemini. That's some good, we got some really good messages going across the board here. So, Cancer. Let's see what this Mercury retrograde's got going on for you, Cancer. All right, give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. All right. Okay. So, Cancer. Cancer. What have we got going on for you this Mercury retrograde? Sorry, I had a volume issue. Okay. Cancer. What to anticipate energetically going into this Mercury retrograde? Let's see what we got for you. Let us see what we got. Oh, hello. What is with this Hermit card for everybody? Introspective wisdom. All right. Well, hey, maybe this is a big calling for us to be a little bit wiser or rely on older wisdom. Main obstacle. And as you guys see, I'm shuffling my cards. All right. Okay. Tower card in reverse is on the board. All right. Best advice. Okay. And what should you achieve coming out of this, Cancer? What should we be achieving coming out of this? Which can also be, the advice of things. But we're just going to go with what should we be achieving coming out of this Mercury retrograde cycle. We got a lot of cards wanting to pop off. There we go. There it is. Okay. Less conflict. Awesome. All right. Who doesn't love that? So going into this Mercury retrograde, it's going to have you energetically wise, relying on your internal wisdom. You're going to probably want to recluse from the situation, person, whatever this may be, because it's already come down. This situation already blew up. But now we're going to be trying to rebuild. We got a new cycle going here, right? And it's saying with the world card being here, in your best advice is to go ahead and start that new cycle. Rebuild from what fell. Okay, it's okay, because and don't combat with it. No more fighting. This is a very direct reading for you here, Cancer. So it's, you've seen it, you knew it was going to happen, you knew it was coming, and it's telling you like, yeah, what once fell, now there's a foundation to build upon. The struggle and the bleh happened, so now it's done. Now we get to rebuild. And with that world card here saying that that's a complete cycle, the cycle's completed. We have no need to be so defensive, offensive, anything like that. All right. I'm going to give these wonderful fortune cookie cards a quick shuffle here. And then we're going to pull and get you a fortune card. All right, there we go. Burnout. Your hard work will see results, but your health needs to be maintained. So check in with your doctor, dentist, and health professionals and try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. All right, maybe this burnt you out. Maybe you need to be relying on that older wisdom, dentist, doctor, anything like that. This could be a therapeutic thing, because maybe you had a scare health-wise and you need to start building your body back up, creating that new cycle. Quit being so defensive, offensive about it. So 2 different variations, 2 different ways to go about this, but what felt burnout right here and needing to go to those wisdoms, stop fighting it and go do it. All right. So whichever one of those emanates with you, take it as it is, but that's some good advice either way. All right, Cancer, you take care of this retrograde. All right. Take care of you, it sounds like, most importantly. All right, Leo, let's get some Mercury retrograde advice for our dear Leos. You have a good day too, OG Dustin. Thank you for stopping in. Thank all of you for coming in today. I know this is a completely different time than I normally go live, but like I said, Bat Regan has his panel tonight, and I don't want to conflict with that at all or try to rush through anything or rush to anything. So, and knowing that I got a little bit of a busy day today, I wanted to get this reading kind of out of the way. Plus, I wanted to test the algorithm, see what a daytime reading kind of brings forward. Alrighty. Leo, what to anticipate energetically going into this retrograde? The second retrograde of 2022. There's only a couple more. We can get through it, guys. We can do it. What to anticipate? What's our obstacle? Okay. Best advice. And what should we achieve coming out? What should we achieve coming out, Leo? All right. Okay. So, what should we anticipate energetically coming in? Right now, energetically, you are probably at a standstill with things. Things come into a halt, which would have normally segued really smoothly with that Knight of Pentacles in the upright. Things going forward in this very grounding, sensible sense, which are no longer doing so. So money could be at a standstill right now. Progress in certain endeavors can be at a standstill, and you're faced with that. You're going to be faced with that. Something important, possibly business-wise, but definitely in a tangible sense, is going to slow down or completely halt. And the main obstacle is learning to balance. As you can see, Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. Learning how to balance. Learning how to balance through that. And that's all this card is genuinely about. But you can do it. It's in the upright. You're going to be able to learn how to do this. You got to have faith in yourself. Rely on your resources, people, things you know. There's so much information out there that is readily available at your fingertips. Anybody can almost get through anything. And what I'm going to say from it being Pentacles right here, this could definitely be affecting money, business. If you're in school, it could be affecting of grades, things like that, tangible things. All right. Um, what is the best advice? So quit thinking you're a badass is what I'm going to say with this King of Wands right here in the reverse. When he's in his upright, he's very flashy. He's very flashy. He's like, I am the baddest mofo in the world, and everybody should look at me and bow down to me. When he's in the reverse, it's like, hold up, homie, slow down, slow your roll, and you know what? Stop being so flashy, fake, if you will. You know, not everything is about your status. All right. You need to be sitting here and being content with the fact that you're good enough no matter what. All right. So if you're taking some steps back, having to not take those vacations, having to not buy those luxury items or anything like that, you know what? That's going to be your best advice, is to stop worrying about the fakey fake and worry about the real real. All right. So stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Stop trying to look like you're a prince when you're being a pauper. You know, stop trying to, live the Lexus life when you can only afford a, 1990, Volkswagen Bug. So, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, and you need to be okay with it. You need to be okay with it, all right? And so what should we look forward to coming out of this? What should be achieved? You know what? Positive outlooks for your future. Learning that balance so that going forward we don't have to worry about issues halting, money worries, anything like that. All right? So let's go ahead and pull your fortune cookie. Communication. A reunion could bring love or a kindling of a friendship. A lucky win seems likely. So, this could do with an old business issue that's going to help you with the balance, but you know what? It's going to humble you out. But you know what? Something's going to come. From this, something good is going to come. You know what? It may not be as dramatic as you anticipate. Just remember, with the tarot, everything's about energies. So energies come, fluctuate, go, and do what they will. So don't try to anticipate it being a specific thing, because with the tarot, it always surprises you. When you think you know exactly how something's going to be, it shows up in a completely different packaging and a completely different time and place. So with that being said, we're going to move along to our wonderful Virgos. And Virgos, you are on the hot list for this Mercury retrograde. So this is going to be interesting. All right, let's see what we got going on for you. Virgos, what you got going on this Mercury retrograde? I think a lot of Virgos know that they got something brewing up this Mercury retrograde. But let's see what that could be. Let's see what you're going to be facing. I'm going to give you an extra cutting and another shuffle for good measure. All right. What to anticipate energetically going in as we begin Mercury retrograde? What's the energies? What's the buildup going to be like? Let's see. Stubborn. That's what it is. See, a card don't want to come out and play. Maybe you're going to have to struggle for this message. Maybe you're struggling to find this message. And that one just kind of like blew it out. Ace of Cups. So, main obstacle. You got two. And I'm going to hold on to both of them as your main obstacle, because if they come out together, I try to hold on to both. All right. What's the best advice? Okay. And, all right, what should you achieve coming out? Like, these cards really said, I got a specific message and I'm going to get it. Ace of Cups in the reverse. This could be a breakup. This could be, and not necessarily romantic, but a breaking up of something. You kind of removing yourself emotionally from something, someone. How's this going to make you feel? Let's see. What's the main obstacle here? King of Wands, like we talked about before, this is the removal of the vanity, removal of thinking you're a badass. It's really going to humble you down with that Tower card. It's humbling you down to rebuild you as a person. So that disengagement, and maybe you are just simply dealing with a disengagement. Maybe you're like, I just don't feel in my element. I feel out of place. I feel like things aren't going my way, that people don't care about me. This could be, a spouse, friend group, family. It could be anything. And you're like, you know what? I'm just feeling out of my fucking element right here. But with this Tower card, and these came out together, not everything you feel is the true definition of what's going on. With this Tower card in reverse, it's a rebuilding of you. It's literally, growth is painful, right? We stretch, we break so we can grow. And that's kind of what it's been doing with you. So what's the best advice? Right here, you got the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, the Page of Pentacles, when he shows up, he's like, pages are very juvenile energy, right? So when he shows up, he's like, yeah, I want to participate. But, okay, what did you bring to the table? Not much. In the reverse, what you can anticipate as the best advice is not coming at shit half-ass. All right? That's not on the board for you. But what should you achieve coming out is the absence of the struggle being over. So if you're having issue with past relationships, friends, family, things like that, where it's just like there was no forward movement and people were being disingenuous or being half-assed and shit like that. Maybe you were being fucking half-assed. Who knows? But you're going to come out of it. You're not going to... everybody thinks they're Billy Badass until they meet the real Billy Badass, which is that Tower moment. But you've had it. It's time to rebuild. And the struggles are going to end. But you really got to be okay with the humbling. You really got to be okay with what comes forward to you, right? So if people are communicating with you, the communication may make you feel kind of shitty, You may not like what people have to say, but you know what? It grows you. All right. So let's go ahead and get that fortune cookie card and see how we can tie all this fun business together. All right. Right off the bat, difficult times. Be on guard against chaos as unforeseen perils or emotions upheaved are foretold. All right. See, you know what? You got some difficult times, but coming out of it, the chaos lessons. All right. So, what are difficult times? Difficult times are meant to break you out of a cycle. They're meant to break you out of a way of thinking, way of being, way of doing in order to promote a higher, stronger sense of self. So, just because a bad time is coming, you almost should be like, all right, bring it, Tower. Because right here it's telling you, you will be able to rebuild from it. All right. You may not feel so good. And it may really make you feel completely out of your element, but trust me when I say you're not gonna feel as beat up and tore up and destroyed as you think. It's actually gonna be good for you. It's gonna lessen things. It's gonna lessen a lot of the drama in your life too. So Virgo, don't worry so much. It's going to be what it's gonna be. Like you can't make it better. You can't make it worse. I mean, you probably could if you fought against it. If you ignore it during retrograde, what you ignore, it's gonna come back later on anyway. So deal with it. Libra, what have we got going on for you during this Mercury retrograde? Come on now. Fighting the system here, cards. Libra, Libra, Libra. One more shuffle for our wonderful Libras. Alrighty, Libra. What to anticipate energetically? Ta-da! All right. Main obstacle. That King of Wands and that Hermit card are having a ball this retrograde. It's just, we'll see. We'll see what the rest of this has in store. What's the best advice? Best advice. All right. Balance is another one that keeps coming up. Also that Tower, but luckily Tower in reverse, right? It didn't flip. Come on. Alrighty. And this little guy too, but he's in the upright, so When he's in the reverse, I like him better, but he's in the upright right here. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on for you, Libra. The moon card in the reverse. People are still trying to lie to you, and you're starting to see. You're starting to see through the BS. Or naturally you see through the BS. You are Libra. But right here is you can tell people are still trying to lie. They're still trying to pull the shady shade. They're still being sus. They're doing all that nonsense. And what's the main obstacle is with the King of Wands in reverse, you're like, you know, you're making me feel like I'm less of a person around you or around this situation. This situation is, you know, maybe you're being the one that's not being totally honest. Maybe truths have surfaced about you and you don't really know how to handle it. And with that King of Wands in the reverse, making you be like, you know what, somebody dug into my dirty laundry and found some shit, and I thought I could hide that shit, and here it is. So that might be what you got going on here. So what's the best advice? Learning how to balance yourself. So what? Everybody has dirty laundry. Every single person. Even the Pope got dirty laundry. Trust me, he do. We all do because you know what? We're human. We are literally bags of skin with some bones on a floating rock going through the atmosphere. All right? We quit taking yourself so damn seriously. We sit here on Earth and we're just like, oh my God, we're so simplified into our surroundings and our little possessions and stuff that we forget the big grand picture of things. So right here, what it's telling you is just to balance yourself, balance everything. Don't sit there and be like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. No, it's not. Nothing. Nothing is the end of the world. Nothing is so bad that there is no tunnel so dark that there isn't a ability to see light at the end. You just have to keep going forward through it. And that's what this is telling me right here. And what should you achieve coming out of it? Oh yeah, it's going to take you for a ride with that 9 of Wands right there. It's going to make you feel it. You're going to feel it. But you know what? 9, it's over. It is over. This ends it. This Mercury retrograde is going to bring something into full circle because it wants you to kick it out for once. It wants you to flush it down the toilet. It wants you to be done. Take that shit, wipe your ass, and move. Stop dealing with it. And that's one of the perks about Mercury retrograde is it's going to bring stuff forward for you to get rid of it. Why carry it when you can get rid of it? And we may not remedy it in the ways that feel good, but it's going to remedy in the ways that are good for our greater good. All right, so let's go ahead and pull that fortune cookie card for you, Libra, and see how we can tell. Well, you got 2, so we're going to give you both. Achievement and change. Achievement. Enjoy the limelight. You've earned it. Although on family front, someone's health could cause some secret worries and sleepless nights. Maybe. And change. A change of residence, partner, career, or job is on the cards. Your restlessness is in need of a change, and that is exactly what is coming your way. So, I mean, this could very well be partnership. This could be a lover, something that's going to be changing because, you know what, it just is. There's no other way to say it. I mean, mental health could also be a health facet. You know, if you are sitting here going, you know what, I've been really, really draining on this, and I've been really, really straining on this, and I need to learn balance and appreciation with myself. You know, sometimes maybe that could mean, you know, changing things up, and you're going to feel like, you know, hey, the change brought good. I was all worn out right here, and the change brought in good. So take how that resonates with you. Libra, you got some struggle, but you got some good coming from it. You just got to learn to accept and let the energies flow in. Bust out that black tourmaline when you need it, right? Right? All right. So moving right along to our Scorpios. Exactly. Move along. You're not a tree. You're not something that's rooted so deep that you can't just pick yourself up. All right. You're more like a huge rock that's being stubborn because it thinks it's too heavy to go anywhere. But guess what? It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to pick up a rock, does it? And plus, if you throw that thing at a mofo, that's going to hurt. So think of that. Alrighty, Scorpio. Let's see what we got coming up for our wonderful Scorpio gang. And I've just been kind of shuffling until I get the sensation that the messages are ready. Feels a little bit warm in my palms. Or the cards start acting a little weird, like right now. So, Scorpio, what to anticipate energetically going in? All right, okay. What's your main obstacle? What's the main obstacle we're going to be facing? All right, Scorpio. Best advice? Okay, all righty. And what should you expect coming out of it? That one was just like, nope, I'm ready to play. Okay, so what to anticipate going in energetically? Well, we have the wonderful Six of Cups in the reverse. So going in, things don't feel fair right now, do they? Scorpio, equal give and take is just not on the board. Everything's kind of off balance, in your waking world, in your tangible sense. You're like, you know what? I put so much in. I'm not getting back out. I'm trying my damnedest. I'm trying so freaking hard, and I'm getting pennies on my dollar here, and I'm getting crumbs on my entire loaf. Like, what the hell? I put in enough ingredients to make 6 loaves of bread and I get crumbs. I put in 50 hours at work to be paid for two. You know, I've spent so much time on this creative endeavor to only have it glanced at instead of noticed. That's what you're experiencing going into this. Those types of emotions, that resurfacing energy. And I feel like it's been building up in the past week. So, what's the main obstacle? The main obstacle is your stubbornness there, Scorpio. You think you know everything. And the King of Swords, usually he's great. He does know a lot. And that's your hiccup there, is Scorpios know a lot. They're intelligent people. They really, truly are. They're very intuitive. They're very inquisitive. They're very determined. And I think the King of Swords really, really resonates with most Scorpios. But see, the thing is, because you know so much, you tend to kick yourself in the ass a lot. You judge yourself harshly, you overexert yourself. You're always the first one there to defend everybody, the first one there to go to battle, all those things. Very strong. Yes, Scorpio's extremely strong. I get that. But you don't have to be that strong all the damn time. You do not have to take over the entire world. Nobody's putting that on you. If the dishes aren't freaking done, they're not going to turn into a monster tomorrow. They're going to still be there. You can do them tomorrow. If you're tired today, do them tomorrow. What you didn't accomplish today, you can accomplish tomorrow. It's possible. I know we're not supposed to set things aside and all that, but you know what? If you're going through so much and you're putting so much work into something and it's not paying off right and you're being very hardcore on yourself and you're making yourself feel like shit, take a break. Take a break. And best advice is to take a break. Right here with the Three of Cups. Celebrate. However you need to, however you want to. Go sit there and call up some friends and, just have a big old friend chat. Talk about nothing and everything. And go out, have drinks, party, go socialize, go check out a park, go take your shoes off and run through the grass. Whatever it is that lightens you back up, that celebrates with you. But this does indicate some people. This does indicate, this could indicate having some drinks. This could indicate hanging out with your girls, hanging out with your boys. This is what it all can indicate. Because you know what this does for you? What should you achieve coming out of it? Controlling your situation, being in control. The magician, he's awesome because he's got all of his elements on the board. He's refreshed. He's new. He can sit there and be like, I got this. So where it was building up to here, with this, I can't control and I'm being hard on it. He knows how to fix it. He knows the remedy. You're just sit there and be like, I know what I need to do. I know. And then this becomes this and everything just sets into balance. So Scorpio, very positive reading for you. Very much what you needed to hear, though, I think. All right, let's get your fortune cookie going to kind of drag it in. There's another one with 2. All right, so travel, long distance communication will open up your life. Long distance communication. Okay, will open up your life. Exciting experiences for singles and career advancements for others. So, career advancement. So, if you're going to be traveling, something's going to happen real good within your next travel, which is awesome. Opportunities. A stranger is about to change your life. Exciting times and plenty of actions, plus a special family reunion looks likely. So, you've got some stuff coming forward. This is awesome for Scorpios because you know what? They don't genuinely, they love opportunities, but they don't like waiting on them. They like to get shit done. So, this is awesome for Scorpio. Really, really awesome for you during this retrograde. So you got a lot building up, but you know, after it's over, you've got some good stuff coming. That's awesome. All right, Sagittarius. What we got going on this retrograde for our wonderful Saggy, our wonderful Sagittarian. Take care, Charmaine. Hope everything goes good. I'll talk to you later, sis. Hey, Ginger. How you doing today? Hope everything's going amazing for you. Hope everything's going amazing for everybody. I see there's the Nubber Bubber. Nubber, how you feeling today? I feel like you feel tired. Although I feel like you've been productive today, though. I wonder what you've been up to. Normally I get a first thing in the morning text from Nub, so. All right, Sagittarius. What to anticipate energetically going into this Mercury retrograde? What have we got for you? All right, the Magician. The Magician wants to play with the Sagittarians. What's your main obstacle? Cool. Remember that Tower card? It's just bussing during these readings. This is busy. It keeps coming up. Best advice. All right. Also, that Knight of Pentacles, stagnant energy. Darn. But what should we achieve coming out? Okay. Okay. And that kind of flipped on us. So we're going to take it as it fell. All right. What to anticipate energetically? So feeling like you can accomplish things is what I'm getting from this. Feelings of accomplishment, like you're ready to take charge of your situations, your life, all of that stuff, because the main obstacle is rebuilding things. And right now you're learning how to do that. Like, but you feel a little bit stuck with this Knight of Pentacles right here. So the best advice is to allow things to wait. All right. Don't move forward yet. All right. Don't let your mind get so far ahead of yourself that you literally trip up everything. It's telling you not to do that. You know better. You know better. But this is right here is telling you it's okay to put the brakes on it. So what should you achieve coming out? You know what? Slow your mind down. That's basically what it's telling you right here. When life slows down, your mind needs to slow down too. Don't get so, don't get so dragged into, oh my gosh, like what the future is going to look like and tra la 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 la. The Knight of Swords right here, he can be a little bit of an ass and he can be wanting to spy on people. So be careful of people spying on you they want to see you slip up. So this could be somebody spying on you social media wise. This could be a family member just being nosy as shit too. So, and this can also be you spying on stuff. Don't let your mind wander. All right. This is something that's not really happening. It's just fully mental. And this could be you sitting there just being like overly nosy. But don't let yourself do that. All right. So that's the end things that we should achieve coming out is to just kind of slow our rolls, slow our mind down, watch and see what happens versus the physical of doing. All right. So let's get you a fortune cookie card. Okay. Jealousy. Watch who you trust with your personal secrets and plans. Spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and replenish. And I think that's very fitting. Very fitting for this. So you know what? Don't get caught up in bullshit and gossip and all this nonsense and crap. Go out and do you. Unapologetically do you, but do you in the sense of what is real. Because I'm going to tell you right now, social media, all this shit, it ain't real. It ain't freaking real. And we know it's not real. We sit there and you're going to go and watch all this stuff and read your Twitter and read your Facebook and all that. That's perception based. That is someone's perception. It ain't your truth. It ain't your real. Only you can speak to that. You and your higher power can speak to that, but nobody else can. So the truth is always in the eye of the beholder. And jealous people want you to believe their truth. They want to cut you down to bare bones nothing, because then they can manipulate you. So if you let people do that, that's what's going to happen. All right. So be careful with that. Be careful of what people tell you, the advice they give. Consider your sources in everything. All right. Especially with people spying on you because they want to trip you up on shit. All righty. So, Capricorn, what to anticipate for you this Mercury retrograde? All righty. Here we go. One more. Starting to get a little warm in the palms, so that I think we're good. All right, Capricorn, what to anticipate energetically going into this Mercury retrograde cycle? Boom. I find this hilarious because I'm a Capricorn, my sun sign, and in my witch's moon box, the tarot card they specifically drew for me was the Ten of Pentacles. Ain't that kind of cool? Not saying this is my reading specifically, but I just thought that was a cool correlation. Main obstacle for Capricorns, this Mercury retrograde. All right, main obstacle. Best advice for the Capricorns during this Mercury retrograde. Okay. And what should we achieve coming out? What should the Capricorns achieve coming out of this Mercury retrograde? All right. So this is interesting, Capricorn. I know, Haley, right? The energy coming in, you're on fire business-wise, home-wise, everything. You got, you're working on stuff. You're working on those projects. You're really bussing it through. And you've got momentum for whatever reason. Capricorns have got the strong drive and momentum. We're Ten of Pentacles always, right? We're always gonna find a way out of some shit. We're always gonna make stuff happen. We're always gonna bring in that coin, right? And this can also mean, a lot of people say the Ten of Pentacles is happy home, happy life, happy wife, happy spouse, happy house, all that nonsense. It's not nonsense, but you know what I mean. And main obstacle, the Star card. Don't live in that sense of wish all the time. The only time you should wish is you wish a motherfucker would try to mess with your coin. That's what you should be wishing on. But don't sit there and bank on wishes. They don't coincide with Capricorn energy too well. Capricorns are very grounded. Capricorns are very like, I need to see it. I need to see it, be it, do it. I smell it. I need to taste it. I need it. I can't live in wish. It's uncomfortable. So, in the sense of you maybe like just starting a new job, and it doesn't want you to get too caught up in like the fairy tale aspect of it. We need reality. So, best advice, the Sun card in reverse. Here's the thing. The Sun card is always like bright new beginnings and all this, but in the reverse, it can definitely mean like reoccurrence of old energy that should have been all that glitters is gold but wasn't. So it's wanting you to be humble. So we go from having like that wish factor to being like, oh, that didn't really like, how is best advice, being like, oh, that wasn't my bright new beginning. But here's the thing. What should you achieve coming out of this? Don't stay locked in your past ideas. Like, just because you're like, oh, I want something better. Maybe it didn't happen quite the way I wanted it to, does not mean that you need to compare it to everything. Stop bringing in old energy, expecting new results. All right. That's what I'm saying right here, Capricorn. And we do that. Capricorns do that where we'll sit there and be like, we'll get caught up in our damn ego so damn quick that we're like, an ego is anytime you think of the past. That's your ego talking completely 100%. Where you're like, well, if it happened before, it'll happen again. And it's asking you not to do that. What should you achieve coming out of this is possibly the release of that type of mentality. But let's get your fortune cookie card. and see what is going on. Change. A change of residence, partner, career, job is on the cards. You're restless and you are restless in need of a change, and that is exactly what's coming your way. All right, so stop thinking about the past and let this be the wish come true. Whatever is coming forward during this Mercury retrograde period is definitely going to enrich you, but stop bringing the stupid past into it. But it's going to want to come because this is retrograde, right? Learn to deflect, learn to get rid of it. Bye bye. See it for what it is. It's the past. Leave it there. Quit sniffing your old laundry and expecting it to smell, linen fresh. It's not going to happen, right? You're going to make your, let's put it like this way. Would you take an old pair of underwear and stick it in your clean clothes expecting them to stay smelling good? No, they're going to smell like stank booty, and you don't need to be doing that, Capricorn. Leave old stuff in the dirty clothes and enjoy your fresh stuff. All right? Aquarius. What have we got going on for Aquarius during this Mercury retrograde? Here we go. Here we go. And just remember, you can also check out your, not just your sun sign, but your moon and your ascending sign, ascending or rising sign. It's categorized as both. Check where Mercury is in your planetary placement. And go ahead and flip through, when this is concluded, flip through all the signs that coincide with your sun, moon, and ascending signs, because messages can be in there and encapsulated in each one of those. You can blend them together and get the advice from all three. And if you're looking to, figure out how to deal with your personality, personal traits, things like that, personal development, look into your moon sign. If you're wanting achievement in status and structure, look into your sun sign. Things like that. So, one more shuffle for our wonderful Aquarian gang, and here we go. What to anticipate energetically going into this Mercury retrograde for the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius. Ooh, there we go. The Queen of Pentacles. Hello, sunshine. All right. What is our main obstacle, Aquarius? Got an itch on my back. All right. What is our main obstacle? Well, that one fell on the ground, so here we go. All right. And what's the best advice? Best advice. Okay. This little guy likes to hang out. He's hanging out a lot during Mercury retrograde with the Tower in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. But you know what? Those are all good cards. So, all right. And that's what we should achieve coming out. Okay. Okay, Aquarius. So coming in to this Mercury retrograde, we are going to be on top of our game in our pentacle realm, in our physical realm, in our, business realm, money rise. You're learning how to invest. You're learning how to make money. You got this mothery, nurturing Queen of Pentacles right here. You're coming into some good, strong energy. And what is our obstacle? The Hanged Man. All right. So normally for you, Aquarius, you're kind of like, I'll wait and see. I'll wait and see. Well, right here, it's telling you that that's probably not going to be the best thing for you, because that wait and see means you're going to miss your boat every damn time. So, the best advice, learn the balance. Learn when is a good time to wait and see, but when is a good time to get your ass up and move. And what should you achieve coming out of this? You should be achieving being able to come out of your past energy of having tangible woes. So, money woes, financial woes, grounding woes, being more stable, mind, body, spirit, and obviously pocketbook wise too. So that's what you should be achieving coming out of this Mercury retrograde, Aquarius. But let's figure out what this fortune cookie is. Reflection. Friendships in your life may come to an end. Others could blossom and become stronger. All right. So where you might be struggling with connection, and you can take this into, this doesn't have to be a literal, but reflection right here. Reflection with this hangman. Learn the balance of things. Learn the balance of tangible things. Friendships could be one of them. Doesn't really look to here like things might be coming to an end, but maybe past energy is coming back to you. Old friends needing to rekindle past bad woes, So that could all be possible for you this Mercury retrograde. All right, Aquarius, you're going to have to take care now, but it's, let's look at it like this. Sometimes nothing happens during Mercury retrograde. Sometimes it does. Maybe it's the energies are starting to flow in that direction. So, it may present itself after Mercury retrograde, and during retrograde, it just gets it all mixed up in the pot, and then afterwards, it starts to boil. All right, so Pisces. Pisces, what have we got going on for you during Mercury retrograde? Let's get some shuffles in. Let us get some shuffles in for Pisces so we can finish up these Mercury retrograde readings. Alrighty. Hey, Wicked. Hey, bro. I'm peeking over a little bit. Normally I don't peek at the chat too much, but today I am. Our final sign of the zodiac, our wonderful fishy group that tends to get all the backlash, tends to get all the crud from all the other 11 zodiac signs in front of it, our wonderful Pisceans. Okay, it's ready to go. What to anticipate? Ooh, here we go. Yeah, it was ready to go, wasn't it? Main obstacle for Pisces during this Mercury retrograde. Okay. Best advice. Okay. And what should we be achieving, Pisces, coming out of it? Alrighty. Okay. This is some sound advice right here. Patience. Patience, balance, understanding is what you can anticipate coming into this. The main obstacle you have is this deceitfulness, either to you, from you, about you. People taking from you. Formerly were taking from you, not that shadiness is coming to an end with this Seven of Swords in the reverse. A lot of people will sit there and look at the Seven of Swords and they're like, this is just, highway robbery card, which it kind of is. This is someone being a little shit, taking what's not theirs. When it's in the reverse, this is the main obstacle. Is you're like, you know what? I don't want to do things. You want to do things faster. You want to achieve glory outside of your timeline. And what this Mercury retrograde is going to tell you is it'll happen, but it's going to happen in divine timing, not in Pisces timing. All right. So don't sit there and try to be this little like sneaky shit with these two cards right here. That Knight of Swords in reverse. Remember we said that's kind of like that little, that's a little stalker energy, watching something, waiting for something, staring at it, checking on it. A watched pot never boils. So just know that. And what should you achieve coming out of it? No one wanted to walk away from bullshit. And that's what I'm seeing right here is, you know what? Walk away from it. It's stank ass energy. This is stank. This is okay. But this right here, this is some stank energy. And don't be a stank ass person trying to, don't live, like I said, don't live a Lexus lifestyle with, a Ford a Ford Taurus, income, live within your means, stay within your lanes, understand your lessons are yours, they're nobody else's. Don't compare yourself to somebody else because it's always going to leave you wanting more. And there comes a point where sometimes we don't care what we have to do to get it. We have to lie, cheat, and steal. No. You're going to learn. You're going to learn. And right here with this Knight of Swords, if you keep staring at other people's pot, you start coveting thy neighbor's goods, you're going to sit there with a stank energy. All right? Learn how to walk away from that. It doesn't do anything for you. And everything in life serves you, but what is it serving you? And this energy is going to serve you a whole lot of disappointment and a whole lot of heartache and a whole lot of you being like, well, I should have more. It's gonna swallow up any of your humbleness, number 2. But it's definitely not going to be the energy that you need to be carrying forward. So this is just leave it all behind right here. All right. Let's get your fortune cookie card. See how we can tie up these loose ends. Travel. Long distance communication will open up your life. Exciting experiences for singles and career advancements for others. So if this is past relationship energy, all that qualifies. Learn how to sit there and be like, what's done is done. This is done, dollar. Leave it the hell alone. Stop trying to make shit into something it's not. I understand Mythbusters said you could polish a turd. but you're going to get shit on your hands doing it. Learn when it's okay to walk away and save yourself. You're worth it. All right, my wonderful tea leaves. I want to thank everybody who stuck by the chat for this impromptu Mercury retrograde reading. As always, I want to thank my amazing mods who keep my chats on and popping, happy and smooth, and keep any of the haters out of the chat, as what happened on Sunday. I apologize. I was not paying attention to my chat. Now, my mods know that if anybody ever comes in any disrespectful manner, we do respect the differences. We all are different people on different paths. We have varying senses of self. Some people need a few more hugs in their life. Me personally, I think once you cross the line of trying to hurt somebody's feelings or trying to disparage somebody for what they are, you have no place in my chat. You can watch all you want, but I don't need you communicating with people in my chat that are here to enjoy reading, share space with like-minded people, and have a good time. I am an all-inclusive chat. I am an all-inclusive channel. I accept all acronyms, all pronouns, and all colors, shapes, sizes. If I hear anybody talking any derogatoriness, you will be banned. I will not wait and I will not hesitate. You should be grown adults in this chat. You should be grown adults in this channel. But in the case you want to act like a little crybaby, I will send you where? The crybaby corner. And if you want to act like a smartass, you will go to the candy ass corner. Each way, whatever way you go, it's not a good time. It is not a good time. That is a tower card right there in your face. So, my wonderful, amazing tea leaves, I wish you a safe, secure, happy rest of Mercury retrograde. Get you some crystals, relax, enjoy the ride. Know that it's all about lessons learned. And I will catch you on the next one. Take it easy.